George always wakes up around 7 o'clock, sometimes half an hour before, sometimes half an hour afterwards, but he always starts the day with a 7-ounce bottle of the Cow and Gate formula, and we use the Tommee Tippee prep machine to prep George's bottles. Honestly guys, I think this is the best invention ever. It makes the perfect temperature bottle. It saves so much time, especially in those early days when you're doing night feeds and things like that. Like you formula feeding, mums will know this is a lifesaver, and I definitely recommend getting it. I'll link it down below as well. This is the older model, and I really don't think you need the newer one. The newer one is like twice the price, and this one is absolutely perfect. So yeah, George will just sit in his bouncer and have that bottle around 7, 7:15. He'll just chill in there. He likes to hold it with one hand recently, and if I attempted to hold him whilst he was having his bottle, he would be so wriggly, it just would not work. So definitely for us, having George in the bouncer whilst he has his bottles just makes total sense. We've done this since he was about 4 months old. We used to just pop a rolled up muslin underneath him, or like a blanket or something, so that it could be sort of propped in order for him to like hold the bottle properly. But we would always supervise him when he was doing that, obviously, and we always supervise him when he's eating now, of course. But yeah, he just absolutely loves sitting in his bouncer and chilling, having his morning bottle. It goes down such a treat because he's obviously not had any food throughout the night. He absolutely loves it. At about 8 o'clock, George will have some breakfast, and this morning he's having porridge. I'm just going to do 2 tablespoons of oats, then pop some of his formula into the porridge as well. I know you can probably use cow's milk at this point if you're cooking with it, but I just used his formula because we had it. Some frozen blueberries, and then I'm just going to pop that into the microwave for about 40 seconds, and then stir it, and then pop it back in for probably about the same again, just to make sure it's nice and cooked through, and then obviously I'll leave it until it's cool enough for him to eat. With things like porridge and Weetabix, I tend to try and feed him as much as I possibly can because he absolutely adores these things. He really loves blueberry porridge. It's his favourite. He, without a doubt, will finish the entire bowl every single time, and I feel like it's a fairly big portion for a 7-month-old. So look at him, he's just munching that all up. He absolutely adores it. Sometimes he tries to grab the spoon, sometimes I let him and just have a little play with it. But I would say that breakfast is probably one of our cleanest meals of the day. One, probably because I use an apron all the time, because obviously he's just got up. I don't really want him to be really messy straight away, but also he just tends to eat it all. He just loves it so much, maybe because it's sweet, I don't know. He does make a little bit of a mess, but obviously this is nothing in comparison to the other meals, I promise you. Also, towards the end of the meal, once he's finished everything, I do just give him the bowl and the spoon, and obviously he's got a bit of mess around him where he's ate that. He likes to just chew on the spoon and stir it around the bowl and sort of just explore those different things that he hasn't really ever had before. So I do like to just give that to him and see what he does with it, really. He's actually got a bit of blueberry under his eye. I can just see that there. Yeah, I said this was clean. Maybe I misremembered this morning, but he absolutely loves porridge, and I just like it when he plays with his food. I find it really cute, and I feel like he's exploring the world around him, and I can't be mad at him for that. He's also getting pretty good at picking things up, like even those little bits of porridge he seems to be really good at. I have also been offering him water every meal. Sometimes he wants it, sometimes he absolutely does not, and just chucks it off the side and kicks up a fuss, and other times he's perfectly happy to hold it himself and drink from it. It really just depends. This morning was definitely not one of those days, so I decided to get him cleaned up and wash him up in the sink as well, because this porridge does get really sticky really quickly. And then we are going to go and have a little bit of playtime. At about 12 o'clock, George will have his second bottle of the day. Again, this is 7 ounces, made with the Tommee Tippee prep machine. I'll pop him in his bouncer on his high chair, and he'll absolutely love that because it's been about 5 hours since his last bottle. And whilst he's having that, I'll actually start making his lunch. I don't have anything prepped in the freezer. I normally am really good at batch cooking things, but for some reason I just don't have anything in the fridge or freezer for him. So what do you do when you don't have things prepped? Make an omelette. Get rid of all of the things in your veg drawer and make an omelette, and a baby friendly omelette is always a good way to go. I'm doing just some spring onions, really simple and small for him, some tomatoes, some spinach, a bit of cheese. I feel like he's absolutely gonna love this. Hell, I'd absolutely love this. I'm simply just gonna pop everything into a measuring jug, chuck in 1 egg, and then mix that all together and pop it into the pan. I just pop the cheese on the top because I forgot to put it in the mixture, by the way. So then I'm just gonna cut it up into like little soldiers or like little bites bite-sized pieces for him. And like I said, I think this will probably do George about 2, I would say at least 2 meals. Probably give him half for lunch, and then the other half can be for another lunch another day. I'm obviously going to make sure that this is cooled down before I give it to him, because it is really hot when it comes out of the pan. But I know that he loves an omelette. Anything in it he absolutely loves. Egg is like one of his favourite things, so we'll see how he gets on with a couple of these. He loves anything like he can touch. He really loves it. I'm not a massive fan of the mess, but I do love seeing him holding things and bringing it to his face and seeing his hand-eye coordination develop, and I feel like there's a lot to be said for that. And as suspected, George is absolutely loving this so much.
Yeah. Yum. Is it nice? Yeah. Oh, baby.
Like you guys know, we're doing a mixture of both, sort of spoon feeding him, baby led weaning, kind of whatever we have in on that day. Most days we'll do a mixture. Most days we'll give him some baby led weaning food, and then other meals in that day we'll spoon feed him, for example. So it is just total personal preference, I think. Then when it gets to 6 o'clock, it's his last bottle of the day. This one's an 8-ouncer, just because we want to make sure that he sleeps through, which he always does, but it's just a habit we've got into. He loves his 8-ounce bottle. He always drains it, because he's only having 3 bottles a day now. I feel like I'll give him more at the end of the day. And then as he's drinking that, I'm going to start making his dinner, because again, I don't have anything in the fridge or freezer for him. So I'm going to make an Annabelle caramel recipe. It's really, really straightforward. It's just cauliflower cheese. It's literally just cauliflower, butter, flour, milk and cheddar. We always have frozen cauliflower in the freezer, so it was so easy to make. And I've done it already. Super, super easy. I've literally just made enough for 1 portion, so I can give that straight to George. I think probably actually this is about 2 portions, but I'm going to offer it to him to see if he eats it. I know that cauliflower cheese is like one of his favourite meals, so he does always tend to eat this really, really well, so it is a favourite of ours. When it comes to spoon feeding, sometimes he does get a bit frustrated that he can't hold the food himself, so sometimes I do just give him the spoon. He gets really, really messy with it, but he was going to bed and he was going to have a bath before bedtime anyway, so I kind of just let him have it. This kind of happens most evenings, I'm not going to lie, but sometimes even I have to just let go of the mess and just enjoy watching him explore his food and things like that. So yeah, when it comes to dessert, we don't always do a dessert, but he was teething really bad. I don't know if you can tell his gums, so I thought I'd give him some grapes cut up into 8s and some Greek yogurt, some full fat Greek yogurt.
Mama, mama, mama.
If I'm honest, he normally just sucks on the grapes, but I only give him 2 grapes and then cut them into 8, so it looks like there's loads, but it's literally 2 grapes worth. And yeah, I think he just likes sucking on it because of his gums and things. I tried to give him this yogurt and oh my god, he just put his hand straight in it. I swear this kid absolutely loves just picking his food up and eating it, and obviously yogurt is not something you can do that with at all. But anyway, he really enjoyed it. He really enjoyed it eventually when he would let me give him some yogurt and not put his hand in it. But yeah, he does really like yogurt. His face goes a bit funny sometimes because Greek yogurt is quite sour, but he does really, really like it. But if I'm totally honest, when he is teething, he'll put anything in his mouth, including his entire fist.
So guys, that is everything from us. A very bog standard day in the life of George's eating. He's 7 months old, like I said. He's teething like crazy. So he's got bright red cheeks, bless his heart, as you can probably see in the background. But yeah, we're just finishing up dessert and then I'm going to take him straight for a bath and then bedtime. So I'll see you in the next video. I hope you enjoyed it. Bye guys.
But then you came along and proved me all wrong. I was so mistaken, 'cause you glue all the pieces back together. Yeah, you take all my wrongs and make them better. Yeah, you're making me wanna try forever. And I feel so free, oh my sweet baby.